How you doing?
Where? Great. How you doing, Coach?
The defense in the fourth quarter, obviously,
Sure.
they set the tone.
100%.
And not really just the fourth quarter. I mean, honestly, they played a great game all game long, giving us opportunities when we went 3 and out at times. I throw an interception, they hold them to a field goal. Yeah, they played a hell of a game. And just as you said, the turnovers, and we're able to build off of those in the fourth quarter right there and take over the game. And that's kind of the recipe for us, honestly. When we were able to get up a couple of scores, as I've said before, allow that D-line to hunt, and they'll just create turnovers from that. And you'll see a lot of points. And it was a fun night, fun fourth quarter.
Was it crazy to score that many points and have that type of effort? And you passed for, what, 170 yards?
I don't know what I passed for. I hadn't looked. As I said, that's kind of the recipe, though. Those guys create turnovers. 170? Jeez, that's it? Yeah, my game was yeah, I mean, that's what we have to do, honestly. When they're playing that way, they're getting us turnovers, getting short fields. Yeah, I mean, we've got to go get touchdowns. Run game was amazing tonight. Offensive line set the tone. Great team win all the way around.
Dak, you talked earlier in the season about this rookie class being the best you've seen so far. How much evidence was that tonight, just all of the guys stepping up today?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. As I've talked about it earlier in the year, what's crazy is I actually said that again this week. One of the rookie practice squad guys had made a funny comment to me, and I'm just like, man, this class is, from personalities, the way that their approach is, the way that they play the game, it's impressive. A bunch of guys that have a lot of confidence in themselves. You can tell that they have a great bond within themselves, and they're creating a great bond with the older guys. And as Coach said tonight in the breakdown, they're not rookies anymore. So, I mean, just credit to those guys. And winning teams need that. So we're going to continue to need that from them. It's important for us to continue to keep pushing them and keep challenging them. But the guys that we have will definitely answer. It's a special class.
Did you take a page out of their book in that celebration as well with you and Zeke and the Salvation Army?
Yeah, that was all Zeke's. Credit right there. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention as Zeke's waving me down. I think I had to run from like the 20 or so. And yeah, we had a couple of celebrations planned, but we were able to get that one in.
Speaking of Zeke, he didn't start for the first time in his career when he's been healthy and active. Just talk about that and that running back rotation and his attitude toward them.
Yeah, I mean, as Zeke just told me, he just wanted to change it up. And he said going in there second, those guys weren't as fresh, and he was able to bully up on them a little bit more than usual. So, I mean, at this point, I don't think it matters who goes in there on the first play of the game. I mean, especially now that you've said that, right? Whatever streak or whatever that is out the window, and it doesn't matter. So those two guys have zero ego. They're each other's biggest supporters and biggest fans, and they're a special duo, and just that room in general. Obviously, coached by Skip Pete. He does a great job with those guys, and they're huge for this team. So it doesn't matter who's getting the first snap. Yeah.
Hinted about your game just a couple of minutes ago. You had a little bit of issues tonight. You're a little bit off.
Yeah, definitely. For sure, one of the throw over there to the right to CD. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want that back. Should have been picked. And then the interception. That's another just trust. Honestly, that's a trust throw against a great cornerback who made a great play. And I went over to MG and said, hey, I'll do that again. You know what I mean? If you're crossing face, I'm throwing it right there, and I just expect you to do that. And that's the confidence I have in myself, the confidence I have in these receivers. But, yeah, just didn't throw it as up to my expectation. Luckily that we've got a great team and a great defense like this, and we'll make sure that I learn from this as I always do and respond.
Since we're talking about receivers, will you be part of the OBJ presentation meeting tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, how long is he in? I'm a part of one of these days he's in. I don't know. I mean, you tell me.
Council is going to meet with him, I think, on Tuesday.
Exactly. I'm a part of the leadership council, and that's on Tuesday. So, yeah, I'll definitely be there for that. I don't know what he's got going tomorrow. I'm sure him and Jerry will have their little powwow and whatever they've got going, and definitely will be a part of it, and CO, and yeah.
So no dinner tomorrow night or Nick and Sam? What?
Mavs game when? Monday night? Yeah, if he wants to go, I'm down to go to the Mavs game. I'll buy him a suite. We can go do that. But he's more of a courtside guy, I think, and I'm a suite guy. So we'll have to meet in the middle somewhere.
Do you feel that this game has been the most complete game for the Cowboys this season, and do you feel the team is hitting its stride?
I definitely say the team's hitting its stride, but I can't say it was the most complete. I mean, I just think that was a fourth quarter explosion. I think you can go back to a couple of weeks ago on the road up in Minnesota. That was a complete game from all three phases, pass game, run game. But tonight, that defense did that. They gave us short fields right there in the fourth quarter, great field position, and allowed us to put up some points late. But that's also just the trust that we have in what we have going and what we've built, and just laying another brick. That, yeah, I mean, what was a 9-point game in the start of the fourth or something like that, and then look up to the final score like that. That just shows when we stay consistent, continue to believe in each other, that can happen at any point in the game.
Based on your history, how long does it take you to be comfortable with a wide receiver, like a guy you don't know, like Odell Beckham Jr.?
A lot of times, I mean, I can go back to the Amari trade. When you're making a trade for a guy like that, you know how talented he is, and they obviously expedite that, just how talented they are, creating space, being very decisive in their body language. And then just for us, it's just about communicating with each other. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll speed up in time and have reps. And as I've heard you guys or whatever reported, this isn't about just this year type of thing. This is also a long-term deal. So obviously he can help us right now, but he's going to help us in the future just as much. So.
Jack, on that note, Jerry said when he was asked why Odell should come here, he said the answer was you as the quarterback being here, and the chemistry y'all can have together. What goes through your mind when you hear that, and when you think about your game tonight? What do you want to work on to continue to get to the chemistry with all the guys?
Yeah, I mean, I work on my game every day, regardless of who I'm throwing to. That's who I am. That's the only way that I've gotten here, and that's all I know. So that'll never change. But obviously, when you get a chance to work with a guy like that, a guy that has such strong hands, contested catcher, create space, yeah, it's exciting. And as I just said, I think his talent will expedite that relationship and that connection. And and at this point, it's about building trust and knowing that I can trust him and throw it into tight windows, and he'll go make that play. And if not, it's just an incomplete pass. So, yeah, that's a part of communication and just getting reps with one another. And obviously, we haven't had any, so this deal has to happen first, and then from there, we'll move on and talk about that.
Tonight, I know you talked about Roger early in the week, but tonight you did pass Roger. You also passed Danny White to move to third all-time Cowboys touchdown passes. You're only 9 behind Troy now. When you hear that, what goes through your mind?
As I said earlier in the week, records are meant to be broken. You talk about Roger and Danny. The way the game's played today is completely different than the way those guys played it. So obviously it's humbling. It's humbling to be third on such a historical list. But I'm just worried about wins. Let me know when I've passed those guys in wins or I've got championships yeah. And so for me, that's all that really matters. These are all stats and they're cool and all, but yeah, this is a team thing for me.
What does it say about this team and the mindset of this team? You're on a 3-game winning streak. You know, you're scoring more points than anybody in the league, but yet you're still trying to add Odell Beckham to this team.
We're trying to be as great as we can be, and in every aspect. And obviously, getting into the late of the year, what we've got coming up, and just on our schedule, and then obviously making a run at the Super Bowl. You want to make sure that you have as many weapons as you can, that you're fully loaded in every direction, and just planning for the future. So as I said, it's not only about this year; it's about in the future. But right now, yeah, I mean the team is resilient. That's been our mantra. It's been our motto, and we're not satisfied by scoring 50. We're not satisfied by. Come on, man, please. Thank you. They're grilling me. It's midnight. All right, Coach. I'm right behind you, hopefully. Love that guy. I forgot the question, but this team's resilient. We're not satisfied. We're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to try to get better. That's the type of men that we have on all sides of the ball, and we're hungry. We're hungry.
Dak, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. You talk about the team wanting to get better. Obviously, you're going to watch some film and see some things that that the team as a whole could clean up in the first quarter. But one thing you guys cleaned up in a big way: penalties. You went from a season high against the Giants in 13, season low today at 3 against the Colts. Did you do anything different in the preparation for this game that helped contribute to that? And how important is it to keep that low going forward?
Yeah, he would have loved that question. He would have loved that question. Yeah, I'm just. Penalty-free type week, I guess you want to call it, and just in the way that we approach the week, practicing, being more aware, understanding that we're getting penalties and things called tight on us, understanding the way that refs are calling plays. I think Noah's play right there at the end on that go ball is a great result of what this week and just the way that we've communicated about the penalties is. Sometimes you've got to act. Sometimes you've got to go back into the receiver and get the penalty. the cornerback and get the penalty. But then we've just got to heighten our focus at the beginning for the pre-snaps and knowing that some of the post-snap things are going to happen. That's just how aggressive we are, and that's part of our play style. And so, how many did you say? 3? None pre-snap. Yeah. So that's huge. That's taking a step, and that's what we're trying to do in every aspect of this game. So. Credit to those guys of heightening their focus, being locked in, understanding that's something that we needed to nip in the butt, but it can't just happen this game. It's got to continue to move forward.
Dak, with CD's awareness, where does that trait rate for him, and where he is on the field, or how he knows where he is, things like that? That first touchdown where he knows he's not down, gets up, keeps going.
Oh, it's huge. That guy's a baller. in every aspect. And I'm sure he'll answer that question and saying he can continue to get better. Just in our communication and the way he plays the game. But that guy is special. As I've told y'all, my trust in him, that's a part of his awareness. That's a part of how he sees the game, how tough he is. So I heard one of the guys joking to him, telling him you could have scored touchdowns if you stopped trying to run over people. So he's just an impressive player. My confidence with him is through the roof, and excited for such a young player in his future.
Dak, you've pretty much been, as a team, good every other year since you've been here, and for several years beforehand, the Cowboys have done well every other year. Why do you think you're on a 2-year sustained success right now, and how do you continue it?
Trusting and believing. I sat there and talked to you guys Wednesday for 30 minutes for free. I talked about it, huh? Yeah, and I talked about it then, just the just the trust that we have with our coaches, with each other, the chemistry, the bond on all phases of the ball. And I think that's a huge part. Obviously last year we had some success, but the way that year ended, nobody's forgot about that, and we've carried that over, and I think that's just allowed us to grow closer, to be tighter, to trust everything that we're doing. Once again, we're still not satisfied with anything that we've done this year. It's about moving forward, and it's about next week at this point. Is it midnight yet? It's probably close, and so here in an hour, we'll finish celebrating, we'll turn the page, and we'll be on to the Texans. So, perfect. Thank you.